Hi, Gio and friends.
Hi, what's your name?
It's Rona.
Oh, Rana.
Hi. My question is number one, how do you usually tell when you're about to get burnt out? And then how do you recharge?
For me, my tell is when I start isolating myself. Like when it's like I don't want to be bothered and like I'm in my own world and I'm in like a very deep focus mode na parang I just like I stay in like one room and just like keep to myself. I think that means na parang I'm like very in it in my head and I'm very stressed. So well, the way for me is to go the other way around, like to really try my best to just reach out to someone, like reach out to a friend, maybe like have dinner or lunch with them or do a hobby with them just to take my mind off of it. And sometimes I think that kind of helps ease things a bit. Like they serve as like crutches to kind of just like help me move on to the next step. Yeah, I think it's just that for me.
Mine is more of there are things I want to shoot but I can't because of schedule. Because I shoot for fun, so that's my hobby, I guess. So it's more that like when I'm not frustrated, but like when I really want to shoot something but I can't, but I have a few hours, I'll get a tattoo. That's how I relax.
Ako, alam mo, baliktad tayo. Pag nakaka-focus ako, tapos naging antisocial ako, that's what I know, that's what I know that I'm still good. Pero when I don't care about the work anymore, just to submit something for compliance and I'm just constantly socializing, I know I'm burnt out. So yeah, how do I fix that? I take a break from work. Um, ano yan eh, actually meron akong cycle eh. Like, I know that by around November, December, burnt out na ako niyan. Or
Same.
approaching. Kasi I mean, I do have a calendar, so we do have, regular output. So alam ko na by this point, nauubos na yung creative energy ko. And that's why what I'm trying the past few years is to kind of find a way of pacing myself so I don't parang burn myself out by the end of the year. I just want to make sure that kasi natatakot ako minsan parang kung dati November parang minsan September pa lang pagod na ako. So parang this is not a sustainable pace. So you try to take a break, magpabakasyon ka sandali, or you just stay at home, whatever, watch Netflix or what have you.
It sounds simple, but minsan kailangan mo talaga to create boundaries. No? Kailangan mag-break time talaga.
December, January is the scariest for me, like the New Year break.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause there's no one to shoot. There's no one here. No one wants to shoot. Like, what am I gonna do with myself? So that's the hardest for me now.
You have so much energy, my gosh. I'm so, wow.
Like, I get so... That's when I play the flute.
Aha.
Oh,
Pag break time,
okay.
like
Yeah.
December. Because I don't know what to do anymore. Nababaliw na ako. Wala akong magawa. So I rediscover like
Pero nakaka-relax
hobbies.
yan. Nakakatanggal talaga ng stress.
Yeah, that's what it's for me, playing music.
Mm.
Or nature trip. So, minsan parang, camping or climb mountain, so really helps. Nature bath.
First, thank you so much for this very insightful conversation. I'm just curious, is there any personal mantra you guys have that you would like to share to the audience?
Ang isang tingin ko, at least personally, naging helpful for me is to parang fail fast and fail often.
Yeah.
I wish I learned that sooner. Kasi there was a time when I was so afraid of failing and it really paralyzes you. But once you fail a few times, parang, whoa, this is so liberating. Parang, number one, you don't have to tell anyone that you failed. Pero parang at the same time, totoo yun meron konting pride dun sa, at least trinay ko, di ba? Parang ganun. Yung ba nga, di nagtatry eh. Parang yun na lang sasabihin mo sa sarili mo, pero nag-fail ka talaga. But and honestly, all we see, especially now, all we see on social media is the success eh. And it's natural kasi hindi ka naman talaga mag-share ng rejection letter. What naman ang gagawin yun? But it kind of, we forget that before we can reach a certain point or before we get somewhere, that's really a path paved with failures. And I do mean a lot. Photography can teach a little bit of that to you kasi when I started taking pictures using an old manual camera, parang feeling mo each frame is going to be beautiful. I'm going to blow this up into a large photograph. And then with a 36 shot, okay, I'm showing my age, no? So 36 shot a film, parang masaya ka na kung meron kang one or two shots na turn up
Grabe
okay.
naman yung 1 or 2.
When you're starting out. Hanggang ngayon naman pala. So parang, I mean, just to summarize, okay lang yun and do it as often as you can. Kasi ibig sabihin na nagtatry ka and eventually, the odds will be in your favor kasi siguro naman magsasucceed ka after 100 tries.
Yeah, failure is part of the process.
For me, yeah, thanks for that question. So for me, I realized it's something I got from Julia Cameron's The Artist Way, and it stuck with me since I first read it. And it's as I create and listen, I will be led. It just reminds me to keep creating. And like, what does creating mean even, right? Kasi there was a time na nasuya ako with like graphic design and nasuya ako with lettering, and it's like, ba't ako nasuya dito? But I'm good at this. So what do I do? Like, do I force it? Kasi sayang naman, parang if I don't keep doing this, as parang I'll let go of this part. But then you realize that sometimes you just have to listen. Na parang, okay, but maybe I'm not in the mood for that part of my creativity right now, and maybe something is calling me out to another thing right now. And so lately, it's been more tactile things for me. It's learning to play the drums, and recently I taught sewing machine basics, and so learning how to sew, hand building pottery, and sometimes like the things that parang have nothing to do with your work or have nothing to do with your craft, like they're actually the things that give the most back to your craft actually, and that you come back to the graphic design and you come back to the lettering with like a different perspective and a different kind of love for it, and like a different, parang nag-evolve siya unconsciously because you were just like listening to yourself na parang, I'm not in the mood for this now, so ito yung itry natin gawin right now.
It's so hard to follow that.
Wait, what was that in Kookie? What is the mantra? What was the line?
As I create and listen, I will be led. Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind because I don't have a mantra. Like, I really don't. I feel like sometimes this is just like a walking like roll of film. Like, it's just waiting for photos to just appear on it. Like, I feel like my head is like that. Mine would more be, I really don't reflect on stuff, and I've never really gone through my career with goals or like specific things I had to achieve or reach by this age, I think maybe my guiding mantra would be paano kaya? Like, I'm always wondering, paano kaya? And that can be both. That can be both for me, I think, a solution, a way to find solutions, and also gives you a sense of wonder. So if a client gives you a shoot, you're always like, paano kaya to? Like, you're finding solutions. But also, if you want to try new things, paano kaya kung? It's always like that. I think I'm just always wondering, and that's what gets all the cogs moving.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. That
probably
sounds
it.
I'm gonna
simple.
take note of that. I really like that.
Simple lang, no? Pero in there, it's like baked in as like curiosity, like enthusiasm.
Yeah, but also paano kaya? Because sometimes you also have to give solutions and you have to give concrete, answers or something.
Right.
It isn't no.